There we are, folks. Green River of Death again. It's not cleared away, in fact it's got worse. I've got one possibility, I think, and that is it. The drain I wanted to fish, the poachers have been on, and there's bags of litter everywhere, so I'm not even gonna. I've had enough of clearing up after other people. People say I always take a bag with me and I clear litter. Well, I used to, but not when the litter would actually be more than the gear you're taking to go fishing with. So gonna have to clear out a little bit, I think, and looks like I'll be leisuring into the mid-channel, bit of feeder fishing. It's the only option. Clear a channel, do a bit of feeder fishing. I'm not going to get any floats going. Not in this. Obviously the wind shifts and the duckweed moves around and moves out of the way. It's a possibility, but at the moment I've got one eye on one swim, but the problem is it's a bit tight to park my car up on the road safely. So plenty of small stuff topping in the clear water. But I mean, look at this, it's diabolical. There's the swim I fished, look. Choked with it. Ooh, it's warm. Thought that's not even a possibility because the mid-channel's choked off there. That's what I mean, you see, you've got a wall. So yeah, if you leave your car sticking out, amount of farm machinery that goes up and down here, liable to bloody lose the wing mirror, or worse. I'll get it thick, choked up with it. That could be a possibility down there. And that could be the most likely looking one. I can shift all that duckweed out to the left, to the right. I notice the swim has been raked. I notice the swim has produced some big bream for me. Could always park my car over there. I normally park it there, but they've been using that as access. They've been harvesting. That's the swim I fished last time. That's unfishable. I can't clear all that out. So let's get going. Let's get cracking. Well, we found a fishable swim. It looks lovely, actually. Really does look nice and fishy. Gonna stick a leisure rod out over there by those willows. and I'm going to fish, float fish, just before the drop off. I know this drain well, I haven't fished it for a long time, but I got the club ticket, might as well use it, and it is fishable at least, so let's get cracking. Afternoon troops, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the second venue. Yeah, the river with them was right off, you know, duckweed, impossible. Tried clearing one little spot out, it wasn't that bad, but you know, it was a nightmare. So after about half hour slogging it away, I knew I was on a sticky wicket, so up sticks. Had a little drive around. Someone was in a swim I wanted to go on another drain. Went to my favourite drain in Frithville. Someone was in my spot there, so I'm saying there's a couple of, on the main drag, there's been a lot of poachers down there over the summer, and there's carrier bags full of rubbish everywhere dumped in swims, so not a pretty sight. So I whizzed round to the Sibsey Trader on the golf course stretch. Just going to fish for bits at the moment. My original plan was to fish the Witham overnight, try and tempt some eels. So I really don't know the form of this place, so you know, I haven't course fished it for probably going on 10 years, and I've got a club ticket, so I might as well fish it. But as I say, before all the duckweed problems, I used to fish it regular. Used to catch loads of tench, bream, rudd, roach, perch, some carp in here up to £20 and all. The eels, years ago there used to be loads of eels. Are they there now? I don't know. So what I think I might do is I might really feed this swim heavily, fish up till about midnight, you know, right into darkness till about midnight for some eels. So look, it gets dark about 8:30, so from 8:30 till midnight, 12:30, 4 hours, see if I can catch some eels. If it's no joy, I shall go home, have a few hours sleep, come back for the first light and see if I can catch some tench. It's a scorcher at the moment, but I do believe it's not going to be that bad. You know what I mean? It's warm, but there's plenty of cloud about, so it's going to be intermittent. Don't worry, I'll put my sun out on. Can't afford to get my old napper burnt. And then we'll, yeah, we're just going to play it by ear, see what we can catch. I'm float fishing left arm rod. It's only about 4.5 foot, 5 foot at most. I'll double check that. Obviously, with any new swim, you always plumb it. It's plumbed, mac on, just slightly over depth, laying on as I like to. The bottom's really clean, the hook's coming back clean, the plummet come back really clean, so it's clean down there. Bit of tow in it, not much. Let me show you the swim. Let's crack on, let's catch some fish for a change. There's the left arm rod. Put about 3 or 4 jaffers out there. Size 16 hook, single grain of corn. Slightly over depth. So I'm laying on, which helps with the tow. You can see the film on the water moving from left to right. It's got a little bit of a tow in it, not much. If I was bang on bottom, it would pull that float under. So it's slightly over depth. And the right hand rod, see the willow overhanging, and you've got the lilies, and you've got a little clump of weed in front of it. I'm just to the right of that little clump of weed, just in front of the lily pads on the far bank. And on that one I've got a worm and maggot cocktail. It's a beautiful afternoon. Let's hope we can have a good evening. Well, here's my groundbait mix. Salmon and krill special method mix, 50-50 with brown breadcrumb. As you can see, it's got corn in there, it's got all sorts, pellet, hemp, tares. And it's also got about 200ml sardine oil in there for the eels. It's a real fishy mix, nice red colour. Clouds up the clear water really well. And that's my particle mix. As you can see, you've got everything in there: maize, groats, peas, corn, hemp, tares, pearl barley, everything in there. Different size morsels. And that was cooked slowly in hemp oil. All the water was reserved, and it helped mix my ground bait. It's all good stuff. Let's hope it catches. Plenty of them about on chopworm again. They follow me around, the little perch, aren't they? Perfect miniature specimen. Let's get him back. Let's carry. Let's pitch. I can't catch these, so we're going to go for big fish only. Well, I've been fishing a couple of hours now, hour and a half. There's plenty of fish to be had if I was so inclined. You know, if I fish with chopworm and find right down, I'm going to catch loads of perch like the one I just showed you. I had a dozen of them already, but that's not what we're after. So I've decided to try and deter little perch. I've just put a big blanket of particles down there now, and I'm fishing over the top of them with particles. So hopefully, even if the roach and rudd move in, I'd rather catch roach and rudd than perch like that. Don't get me wrong, they save a blank, and if I was after perch, there'd be I'd fish for them, and hopefully maybe you'd get a better stamp of one. But I don't think it is. I think it's, I mean, I've fished with chopworm for about 15-20 minutes, had about a dozen, probably 10 to a dozen of them, all the same size. So, you know, and if some of them even on the same bit of chopworm. So yeah, they're down there. There's plenty of perch down there. I hope they don't annoy me when it gets dark when I've got my eel rig out, but if it's a big perch I won't mind, but not a little perch. But still a little bit of a tug in the water, some detritus floating down every now and then, but not a lot. You know, it's good to be out. It's clouded over now. It was a scorcher earlier, but there's plenty of cloud cover. Looks like it's going to be a mild night. hopefully we'll catch something. So the right hand rod, the leisure rod, I had worm and maggot cocktail on that, and that was getting hammered so quick you couldn't even hit them. I assume small perch again. So that I've upped the size of the hook. Got size 12 on there, double grain of corn. Still a feeder, but we're going to attack it and see if we can instigate some feeding from some tench. When I used to fish this, I used to catch a lot of tench on the far bank. Feeder tactics, so hopefully that'll work again. Well, the rain's here. I was hoping it get settled in before it, it clouded over. I thought it might have a shower, but it's not heavy. Just don't want to get all my gear wet going into darkness. I'd rather have it all set up before the rain hit me, but beggars can't be choosers. Still nothing to report. Every time I go out on a chop worm or something, I can nick a perch or two, but starting to get a few taps on the corn on the right hand rod, so that's positive. Going to recast that. I'm going to put double corn on this time, so it's bigger bait. I'm after tench and bream, so might as well go for it on that rod and see if I can nick any roach and rudd on the float rod. Just before it gets dark, I shall bring the float rod in and then get my eel rig out. But at the moment, it's tail of woe this season, isn't it? Oh, it's warm. So I'm all wrapped up for the rain, and it's still very muggy. So drain's running off a little bit, not majorly, just got a bit of a toe in it. Every now and then a bit of crap comes down and hits the float, but other than that, it's all good. Let's go and catch some fish. Every time I go on a chop worm, every time. Little angry perch, little sergeant. Every time, chop worm. That's about 20 of them I've had now. Look at the little devil. They are greedy guts, aren't they? Let's get him back. Come on. Come on. There me two eel rods. As you can see, the swing tips are down very slack, resistance free, starlights on the end. Both of them, I'm going both with fish heads, very small sprat heads on twig rigs. I'll leave the link in the description. And we're all ready to go. It's just getting dark now, very muggy. Let's hope there's some eels in here. Talking to one of the locals, and there was a couple of seals on here over the winter. How much damage they've done, I don't know. But the rods are out. Let's see what a few hours of darkness bring. Well troops, first action of the night. something snatched at the right hand rod. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was a good, you know what I mean, went up about 45 degrees. So I'm all on edge now. I might have to reel it in and check that the bait's still gone, because there's only really small pieces of fish. So, as I say, something snatched at it. So, fingers crossed, we might get some eel action tonight. Started off where we finished last session. Another little perch. Sergeant Stripey. Chopped worm. Fishing all night for eels, but no joy. Yeah, we've just put that perch back. I mean, there's not a lot of action. You know, hard night. I wasn't going to stay all night. As I said, I was going to fish up to about midnight or so for eels, and then go home for a few hours sleep and come back. But sod's law, 10:30, 11:15. Had quite a positive bite on the right hand rod on a little sprat section. And that got all my juices flowing, so ended up staying the night. And that was the only bite we had on the eel rods. I had 2 eel rods out, both fishing with sprat sections, one the head, one the midsection, and not a touch. So I've gone straight back onto the feeder and the float this morning, hoping that all the bait I put in yesterday, that there'd be some bream, skimmers, tench, roach, anything around. But at the moment it's just plagued with little perch. Spoke to the bailiff yesterday, spoke to a couple of other people, regulars, and they said the seals in the winter were on here, 2 of them. So have they decimated the stocks? I don't know, but it's not looking good at the moment. But I just put a bit of chop worm on to see if there was anything in it other than the perch, and straight away, boom, float went, perch. So well, you don't mind catching perch if they're big. So back to the drawing board. I think I'll go back onto corn on my float, maybe even tears. I don't mind catching roach and rudd if there's any size, but little perch don't interest me. So we better crack on and see what we can catch.